Hey mamas, you're listening to the Balanced Working Mama podcast, the only podcast teaching you how to balance your work, motherhood, and wellness. I am Dr. Amber Thornton, clinical psychologist and mama wellness consultant. Each week we dive into tips and strategies and much more so that you too can become a balanced working mama. Let's dive in. Hey mama, I want to quickly tell you about the Empower Wellness Program. This is a dynamic 6-week group for working mothers who are tired of feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, burdened by mom guilt, but then also just not having enough time for themselves. This program takes all of that and transforms it into more wellness, more time for yourself, better priorities, community with other mothers, but then overall balance in your work, motherhood, and wellness. To learn more about the Empower Wellness Program, head over to balanceworkingmama.com. There you can find when the next program begins, what to expect, but then also how to sign up. Hope to see you in the next group. Hey mamas, it's Dr. Amber here. Wow. I There's so much going on in my head and so much that I want to talk about for this final episode of the season. One, I'm sure that you've noticed that this episode is a little late. It is about a week behind schedule. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know my father passed away a few weeks ago. He passed away on May 28th. And so it's been a tough 2 weeks or so. I had to immediately fly to Ohio where my family is. I took Eden with me because I wanted to continue to breastfeed her and stayed with my mom and my brother for about a week and a half to prepare for his services and finalize everything that needed to be done, but also just to be with my family. It was a bittersweet time because we had to say goodbye to my father, but also I had not been with my family since 2019 before the pandemic. And so that was a roller coaster of a few days. And so I appreciate you all for being patient. Of course, that really took precedent at the moment. And so here we are now. And so balanced working mama means so much to me. And it meant that I wanted to find ways to continue to be engaged with balanced working mama, even while I journey through my own process of grief. Still, for me, there's so much going on. I'm grieving my father. I am at this point 8 weeks postpartum. Yeah, I'm about 8 weeks postpartum. And so I still am adjusting to my new baby and being a mama of two. And so that for me has really required me to um, really take a new look at what healing and wellness looks like for me. What I believe to be true is that balance in motherhood looks different at every single stage. And sometimes the stage of motherhood can change rapidly, just like it did for me a few weeks ago. And so I had to reevaluate what I needed and what was going on for me. And so it means that I've been doing a lot of things, some things for the first time, some things a little bit differently. I am managing my health. I am still having some blood pressure things go on in postpartum. And so I am meeting with my primary care provider in a few weeks to figure out what we're going to do next with that. I actually found a new therapist. So I'm going to be going to therapy. My first appointment is going to be in a few days, which I'm really excited about. And this weekend, which by the time you all hear this episode, the weekend would have passed, but I am taking a solo momcation all to myself away from my children, my family, my spouse, because I need it. And so that's something I've never done before. But at this point in this stage of motherhood is something I realized I really, really need. And so I'm excited to take that time away. I am very intentional right now about what wellness looks like for me. And I'm serious about this. And so, with that, I really truly believe that we all need to be very serious about what our balance in motherhood looks like, but then also how we achieve wellness. Because if we're not, things like this in life will happen. And if we're not careful, our balance or our wellness will completely go by the wayside. And that's not okay. And I say this all the time, life is so unpredictable. Life is hectic. Life at times can be really uncontrollable. It can change very rapidly. And what that means is that we have to be so intentional about our wellness and how we are achieving balance that no matter what happens in life, wellness and balance is always our foundation. And that is exactly what I am teaching and hoping to help other mamas do, all the while doing it for myself. So, I want to talk about a few things in this episode, but at first, I actually want to start with telling a tiny story. Um, so, as you know, I went home and I was with my mom most of the time because she needs a lot of support right now. Her and my father were together for 40 years. I couldn't imagine 40 years, 36 years of marriage. And so this is going to be a really big adjustment for her. And so being with her, I had Eden, my daughter, and then my husband and my son came about a week later, came down to be with us and to also attend the services. And um, my mom got to watch us navigate parenthood and life together. She got to see us and how we juggle two little children and two little babies. And she got to see, how we work together and we tag team and how, what that looks like for us for the very first time. And so I was talking on the phone with her the other day, and she was like, I was telling my sister that I am just so amazed at how Cedric, my husband, how Cedric just jumps right in and he just helps with C3. And he just, with no issues, not complaining, he just jumps right in. And you all just tag team so well. You work so well together. And it was in that moment that I realized that all of this balanced working mama stuff, I did not make up on my own. And it hit me that all the things that I had experienced, all the things I've been talking about in terms of not seeing balance in motherhood, not seeing equal partnership, not seeing mothers and women take care of themselves and have time for themselves. I didn't make that up. That was real because my mother confirmed it for me right then. And what she said, she was like, you know, back when I was growing up, my father didn't do any of those things. And your father, God bless him and we love him, but he didn't do these things. It was all the mothers doing it. And what she was trying to communicate to me is that it was really different for her to see my husband be so active and so engaged in parenthood. It's amazing. And what I told her is that, you know, I grew up seeing a form of motherhood that felt unattainable. I commended her on being able to do everything on her own, do all the things. Yes, my father was present with us all of my life. He felt that his role in parenthood and as a father was to work and was to work as hard as he can and was to be the disciplinarian. But he did not necessarily believe that his role was to do the more day-to-day things like cooking dinner, like doing bath time, like reading stories, like emotional comfort. That just wasn't what he saw his role to be. And it wasn't that he was a bad father or didn't want to. It's just that that's also not what he saw either. And so he was doing what he thought was the right thing to do. But what it meant was that there was a lot of extra pressure on my mom to do all the things, work her full-time job, and then take care of two children and him. It's a lot of pressure. And I was honest with my mother about that, felt really unattainable for me. And so when I decided that I wanted to become a mother, I had to be very, very clear about what motherhood would look like because I knew it couldn't look like what I've seen. And so, what it required of me was to be very upfront and honest with my potential partner about what a parenthood or what a partnership needed to look like. It needed to be equal grounding. It needed to be us taking turns and working together. It could not just be mom doing all the things just because she's mom, because that's not what I want. And so my mom completely agreed with me in this conversation that we were having. She said it was awesome that this is exactly what I wanted. This is what I've been able to achieve. And this is now what I'm able to help other mothers and other women achieve for themselves as well. And so with that, she and I continued our conversation and we just went into how it's really hard for women and mothers to let go of the old way of doing motherhood, especially for millennial women. Because just like in this example, I've said I've had two examples of motherhood, generations of motherhood that looked completely different and felt really unattainable for me. And so it meant that for me, I had to completely redefine what motherhood was going to look like. And it needed to look like something that included balance, that included wellness, that included me as a person and a human, and not just someone that was sacrificing my needs, my wants, my desires for the good of my children or for the good of my husband. That's not going to work right now. And that is the struggle that many of us are facing. We have not seen it done a different way. We don't even know a lot of the times that there's a different way that we can do it. We don't even realize that we can speak up about certain things, demand certain things, expect different things so that our life and our motherhood journey can look and feel different than what we've seen. And then when we even get the realization that it can be different, it's really hard to do because it means that you're pushing against the grain or the foundation that's been laid for you. And that's not easy. And so, what it has meant is that we need a lot of support, a lot of guidance to do something differently. It takes a lot of hard work and support to redefine motherhood in order for you to have better balance in how you work, how you show up in motherhood, and how you maintain your wellness. It does. And that is exactly what we're here for. That is what Balanced Working Mama is all about. And so I want to talk a little bit about three reasons why you still might be struggling with finding balance in your motherhood. And if you are struggling with finding balance in your motherhood, girl, I get it. Because of the exact reasons that I just stated. It's not easy to completely redefine motherhood after generations upon generations upon generations doing it one way. It's not easy to break generational curses. It's not easy to, shift the narrative. This stuff sounds amazing. We right now in our culture, we really love talking about these things, but it's hard work and it requires a few things. And I'm going to tell you the three things that it really does require of you. One, it really requires some sort of intentional assessment about where you are and what you need. And so, what I mean by that is you have to be very clear about what the hell is even going on, what's wrong. What is wrong? And so I say the word assessment, but really what that means is that taking inventory of what is going on, what are all the pieces here, really looking at the things and putting all the pieces together so that you can really get a clear picture of what the problems are. Intentional assessment. We've got to really figure out what the problems are in order for us to find the solutions. The problems could be that we don't have clear boundaries. The problems could be that we don't have enough help. The problems could be that we don't have any time for ourselves. The problems could be that we've never asked for any of these things from our support people. There's so many issues that can arise in our motherhood journey as we're trying to do this. And we can't fix anything until we actually know where the problems are or where the concerns are. And so that is one thing you absolutely need. You need some sort of way to really assess for what is going on right now with my wellness, with my balance, and how can I find solutions to these things. The second thing that you really need in order to do something so big as redefining motherhood for yourself is you need some sort of professional guidance. And I think this is the thing that trips people up because we feel like we should be able to do everything on our own. And if this is you, I'm talking to you. And honestly, this has been me as well. We believe that we should be able to do everything on our own because, like I just said, we've seen women before us do everything on our own. But sometimes we forget that what that has meant is that they were not able to see out their dreams and their passions. It meant that their health was compromised. It meant that they never felt true fulfillment and contentment. It meant that they were not able to live long enough to see their grandchildren. Those were the sacrifices that those women made in order to be super women. And I don't want us to be superwoman because it means that we sacrifice so much. And so really the thing to do is to let go of being superwoman and to accept that sometimes we need help, especially in the form of professional guidance. So for me, that has meant therapy. I'm going back to therapy in a few days. I've sought therapy as I have journey through motherhood. For you, this could be engaging in balanced working mama, working with someone like me to help you with this, joining the Empower Wellness program, joining the one-on-one program, some sort of professional support so that are you not trying to figure this out on your own? You have someone who knows what mothers experience, who knows what mothers need, who knows the ins and outs of the struggles of millennial mamas to help guide you through the process. Because remember, like I said, this is new. So your mom might not be able to help you with this. Same with my mom. She isn't really able to help me navigate what motherhood looks like for me now because she was astonished at how I was doing it. So professional guidance can really help you get from point A to point B when you are trying to find more balance in your motherhood journey. Last thing that I really think you might be missing out on when you're seeking balance in motherhood is a judge free community. We cannot do this by ourselves. We need a community of other women, of other mothers who are non judgmental, who are warm, who are open, who will embrace you, who will let you know that, hey, girl, I got you. You're not the only one going through this. I see what you're saying. I get that. I've experienced that. We need that in order to really, really feel empowered to make this journey and this connection to what it means to redefine motherhood and find better balance in your motherhood journey. If you don't have that type of community and support, this is going to be a long haul for you. And I don't want that for you. I want you to feel supported by other women and other mothers who also want the same thing. This is not something that we have to do alone. And so I want you to ask yourself, do you have these three things? Do you have some way to intentionally assess what the hell is going on so that you actually can find solutions? Do you have professional guidance as you are seeking out new ways to find balance and wellness in motherhood? Do you have a judgment free community of other mamas who are like minded and who want the same thing? And if you do not, I invite you to join the Empower Wellness program because these are the exact things that we put together in this program to help you find the balance that you have been looking for so long. These are the three ingredients that really get you from point A to point B so that you no longer have to struggle with how you show up in motherhood. You no longer have to feel chronically fatigued. You no longer have to worry about when and how you're going to take care of yourself in the midst of taking care of everyone else. You no longer have to worry about not having enough support or help for yourself. You no longer have to worry about feeling alone in this because you're not going to be alone anymore. The Empower Wellness Program is a program that I've developed, and it has helped support so many mamas in the last year. This is exactly, well, not exactly, but it's about 1 year anniversary for the Empower Wellness Program. We first started our program July of 2020, and wow, it's been such an amazing year. We've had 3 cycles since then. We've had 36 women participate, 12 each cycle, and I just can't say enough about how transformative the work has been for all of these mamas. And so actually, I want to read a few reviews for you. And you can read these on the website at balancedworkingmama.com. We got a few reviews from our mamas, but also check out our mama blog, because all of the articles from the mamas, they are also our Empower Wellness mamas. But I'm going to read one from Shayna. Shayna is my girl, y'all. She probably listening to this. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were going to read it. And so Shayna said, looking back, I didn't know how much I needed Balanced Working Mama. It changed my life and reminded me of all the things that gave me joy. Before Balanced Working Mama, I felt like I was drowning. I was doing so much for everybody around me, but it was not doing anything for me. Since completing the Empower Wellness program, I continued to work out. I have been more mindful of what I'm eating. My anxiety has been at a 2 instead of a 10. And most importantly, I'm finally feeling good mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love Balanced Working Mama. Wow. I'm going to read one more by Kristen. She said, Balanced Working Mama in the Empower Wellness Program was the highlight of my 2020. When everything else felt chaotic and unpredictable, participating in this group really provided me a sense of calm and clarity that I desperately needed. I appreciated the renewed sense of purpose that I felt from the wellness assessment and goal setting with Dr. Amber, and the sense of community from the weekly group meetings and the check-ins, and with my accountability partners. I hope to stay connected with the mamas and continue to use what I've learned to increase my wellness. So, Empower Wellness Program is dope, and it is here for you and is waiting for you to join. At this time, we have about 6 spots left. We take 12 mamas every cycle, and right now we've got 6. By the time you hear this, I'm not sure how many we'll have, but right now we have 6 spots open. And so I actually want to walk you through some of the things that we do in the Empower Wellness Program so that you really can get a feel for how this can help you. The first thing that we do is you decide that you want more balance and wellness. As soon as you sign on the dotted line and you say, hey, Dr. Amber, take my money, take my soul, take all the things so I can feel better. That was you making the decision that you wanted more balance and more wellness. And that is the first step, honestly. You've got to really make the decision that you want this, because if you don't want this, you're not going to seek it out. You're not going to get it if you don't want it. You have to make the decision and you have to make the move that you want better balance and wellness in your motherhood journey. So that's step number 1. You joining the program is you deciding that you want more. The second thing that we do is we really assess your wellness, and we do that with our wellness assessment. There is nothing else like the wellness assessment with the Empower Wellness Program. I've never seen anything else like it. I've never seen any other mom coaches or therapists talk about it. The wellness assessment is something that is unique to working mamas, specifically millennial mamas. And what it does is it's 28 questions. I've lost track, honestly, of how many questions it is, but I believe it's 28 questions that really assess for 9 critical areas of wellness for millennial working mamas. And so when you answer these questions, you then get a full report of your wellness and your areas of strength and your areas of growth. That is important because that is the thing that helps us know, hey, you're strong here, you need some growth here. And that is almost like your roadmap for the rest of the program to decide what you're going to work on and what you're going to focus on. The third thing that we do is we really help you to set your intention for how you're going to grow. Again, this comes from the wellness assessment. And you look at your wellness assessment and you say, hey, I want to grow right here in this area. And so that's what we set our intention on. And that's exactly what we work on for the 6 weeks. And it's amazing because you can work on it in the group, but also one-on-one with me, because you meet with the group weekly, but you also check in with me one-on-one individually so that we can make sure that your goal is focused and it's attainable. The next thing that we really make sure that you do is shift your mindset towards more balance and wellness. There's a lot of active changes that we help you to make in the Empower Wellness program. But the one thing that I've realized in doing this for this last year is that there are also some really powerful mindset shifts that need to be made. Because remember, this is something that we've never seen done before. This is a form of motherhood that we've never really seen played out. And so you really have to do a lot of mental work and a lot of mental things to really get it right and to really get it going and to really feel comfortable in it. And so we shift your mindset. We help you to shift that so you can be pointed towards more balance and wellness and motherhood for you. The next thing we do is we redefine how you should even show up in motherhood, girl. Like, that's the best part. We completely redefine what motherhood looks like. And so you come into the program thinking that it's one way, you leave the program realizing that it's something completely different. And even the people around you will redefine what they believe motherhood to be as well because of you. And so that means your children are going to learn that they should expect different things from you at this point, and it will help to level them up as well. But also, if you do have a spouse or a partner, they're going to learn to expect different things from you because you are showing up differently, because you have redefined your motherhood. The next thing that we help you do in an Empower Wellness program is we help you to commit to this new role. And so the one thing that I will say is 6 weeks is short. Okay. It feels long when you're first committing to something, but when you get into the program, it will feel like it flies by so fast. And that is one thing that the mamas always say. They wish it was longer, but I've never made it longer because it honestly doesn't need to be longer. I've seen these mamas transform in 6 weeks, but then I've also seen their growth and their transformations continue on even after the program, because I actually keep up with the mamas and I check in on them, and they continue to amaze me even months after. I have several mamas, but I'm one that comes to mind. 1 year after she participated in the program, she is still out here doing things that she never would have done before. She has just completed her first semester in college. She is building a business. She has done all these things for herself, and she always attributes all those changes to the fact that she participated in the Empower Wellness program 1 whole year ago. And so what I'm saying is that you learn that you're going to commit to this new role, this new form of motherhood, and it's going to continue even after the 6 weeks. And you get better and better because you have these new tools, you have these new skills, you have this new mindset to really shift you into what you can do and the potential in your motherhood experience. The next thing that we do is we allow you to join a community of non-judgmental, open, welcoming, empowered mamas who really want the same things that you want. Balanced Working Mama really is becoming a community of mamas who are tired of being tired and who want to tap into all of the passion, all of the joy, all of the good feelings, all the good health and wellness that motherhood can bring. And so with that community, you know that you're not alone. You know that you're not the only one that struggles sometimes, but you also know that there's other mamas who's going to cheer you on. And with every single cycle of the Empower Wellness program, our mamas have stayed connected in some form, whether it is connecting with each other individually. All of the mamas actually, I believe, are part of like a group me or a WhatsApp or something that they could stay connected to their group. The mamas really support one another and they stay connected even afterwards. So you leave having community that you never would have thought that you had before. The other thing that we really allow you to do in the Empower Wellness program is to share and engage in really transparent dialogue. I think that is so important because motherhood is not for the faint of heart. Motherhood is not just an easy thing. And there's some really hard moments that come up. And if you don't have a space or a place to really communicate the things that you're going through, it can really feel very, very, very challenging. And so there is a space, there is a place for you to share and engage in really transparent dialogue that can help to shift things for you. and open things up for you. Lastly, with the Empower Wellness program, you begin to learn that you too can empower other mamas towards more balance and wellness. And it might feel like you can't because you are still trying to do this for yourself, but what you learn is that as you journey to redefine your own motherhood, as you seek out your better balance and wellness, you are also inspiring and empowering other women who are alongside you for the ride because they are learning from you just like you're learning from them. And so I invite you to join us. I want you to come be a part of this because this is not something that you should miss. This is not something that comes by often. I've never seen anything like this before, and I don't want you to miss out on this. I want to read one last review for you before I go. And this review of the Empower Wellness program is from Ivy. And Ivy says, I am a bonus mama who has hopes of having biological children one day. It's hard to find spaces where you feel welcome among other moms and they don't give you a side eye. Ooh. I tend to shy away from mom groups, but upon a recommendation from two of my friends, I signed up for the Empower Wellness program. I never once felt like I didn't belong or felt judged. It never came up. There was so much freedom in being among the moms, and just being another mom in the group felt super validating. Thank you so much for giving me a space to exist. The Empower Wellness program is powerful. It cannot be denied. It is transformative. It is helpful. It's so many things. And I'm so proud of this program. And I'm also so excited for you to join us. And so if you have any desire, any curiosity, anything that leads you to believe this might be for you, it is for you. It is for you because I believe that it can help to support you. It can get you from point A to point B so that you're no longer struggling with finding balance or with your wellness and motherhood, so that you can finally feel the joy, feel the passion, so that you can do all the things that you've wanted to do. And motherhood doesn't have to stop you. You can finally have good health and well-being. You don't have to struggle with this anymore because we are here to support you. So if you are ready to completely transform your wellness, to finally find the balance that you've been needing, to really drastically improve your definition of motherhood and how you show up, please go to balancedworkingmama.com. You can sign up for the Empower Wellness program right there. If you have questions about this program, feel free. Please hit me up. Y'all know where to find me. I'm always on Instagram at dramberthornton.com. You can also message the Balanced Working Mama Instagram page. You can email me at hello@dramberthornton.com. I am more than happy to talk with you, or even if you feel like you want to consult first just to make sure it's a good fit. I am so okay with that, and I have no problem with supporting you as you make this decision to finally have more balance and wellness in motherhood. I cannot wait to work with you. I can't wait for you to join us. Again, our program begins the week of July 4th, but registration is going to close June 25th or as soon as we get these spots filled. All right, mamas, it has been an amazing season for the podcast. I will take a tiny break and I will talk to you all again in about 2 to 3 weeks for our next season of the podcast. And by then we will have our 12 Mamas for Empower Wellness program. But either way, thank you so much for sticking with us and for supporting Balanced Working Mama. And I will talk to you all soon. Hey mama, I want to quickly tell you about the Empower Wellness program. This is a dynamic 6-week group for working mothers who are tired of feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, burdened by mom guilt, but then also just not having enough time for themselves. This program takes all of that and transforms it into more wellness, more time for yourself, better priorities, community with other mothers, but then overall balance in your work, motherhood, and wellness. To learn more about the Empower Wellness program, head over to balancedworkingmama.com. There you can find when the next program begins, what to expect, but then also how to sign up. Hope to see you in the next group. Hey, Mama. Thank you for listening to the Balanced Working Mama podcast. If you love this podcast, please be sure to rate it and share it with another mama that you know. And don't forget to follow me and Balanced Working Mama on Instagram. I'll talk to you soon.